I'm here with the guy who even his teacher calls him ZionSpartan. That's an awful intro, but it's okay. I'm going to do that because you guys just beat Velocity, which I know they've been having a rough time, but I don't know. Take me through that game.
Actually, we were behind early, which we didn't anticipate. So we were just like, okay, guys, don't worry about it. Let's just stick in the game. Let's just do our plan. I just keep farming on Riven, get 400 farm by the end of the game, and just like two-shot all their carries. And we got Baron, we got back into the game, and we are just fine. We just played our game. We didn't worry about anything, and we just beat them.
So do you think that it was just sort of a pick thing? Riven was just really good late game, or do you think that it was just sort of the way the comps worked out? Like what really allowed you guys to take it over them?
We picked a comp that we actually practiced, which is something good, because we kind of realized, like, okay, because usually in scrims, I'm like, hey, guys, if you are a top, or like something like that, like, I want to try this out. And then we're like, okay, no more of that. We're just going to play these champions, practice this in a comp, and then actually run it, because there's only 1 or 2 matches a week. So if you practice 1 or 2 comps, you're going to be pretty confident going into the week. So we decided to do that. It didn't really plan out that well with Dignitas, but with Velocity, we're like, okay, we're going to run the comps we practice. And then it ended up going well because we knew what to do at the stages of the game, and we didn't freak out. We're like, okay, we know what to do with this comp, so if we get behind, we'll team fight well, we'll get back into the game fine, and we won't make any more mistakes. And
So Velocity has been sort of having a rough time lately. You just played them, so I'm curious what your thoughts are on them as a team. What are their weaknesses, or why do they seem to be struggling so much?
I just think they're like kind of like the GGU of first split. Maybe they got what's in them. Maybe they'll start out 1-12, 2-12, but maybe they'll stop cheesing, or they'll like get used to the LCS environment, and then they'll start winning. I think they've got talent, but they got a lot to work on, and they got to decide if they want to keep cheesing teams as their strategy, or they want to like, okay, we're gonna start practicing our champions we're actually good at instead of trying to cheese teams. And whatever way they go down, they have to just start practicing that well and get used to it so that they can be a strong LCS team.
Do you think that they're cheesing and using these more unusual strats because they're not confident yet in the LCS?
Yeah, I kind of feel like it, but I've heard they've had a lot of issues. Like they've had trouble with like the gaming house and stuff. Like I've heard that they didn't even play, like some of the players didn't even play this week on the 3.8 patch. So they've got a lot of troubles, kind of like we did for split with Shifter and stuff. And I feel like that's holding them back a bit. Like I feel like they can be a stronger team, and time will tell. Maybe they'll end up second place in playoffs too.
Speaking of Shifter, he's now on the team. Everything got sorted out. Obviously, there were all those issues previously. What's it like to be playing with them just on this like consistent basis now?
I think Shifter's a great player, but he just needs more confidence in himself. Like he knows he's really good, like strong mechanically, but he hasn't played LCS, and he's been seeing all these comments like, "Oh, Jinte, why didn't you guys pick up Jinte?" Like, "Oh my gosh, those Orianna ults, those shockwaves won you guys so many games. We want Jinte." And maybe that's like lowered his morale a bit, but I think once he gets more confident in his play, he'll show everybody how strong he is at the role, and people will understand that, hey, the Shifter guy, pretty good.
So I understand you guys have this Team Coast House now. What's it like finally moving into this place? And have you, because I know you just sort of graduated high school recently.
I'd say the Coast House is probably like maybe the nicest gaming house I've seen out of all the houses, like looking at the house tours, because the house is like fully furnished. It's really nice. It's got like 5 rooms, like rooms for everybody, and it's just really nice. But the only problem is it's farther away, so it takes like an hour and a half to like 2 hours to drive here. So that's kind of a problem. But I really like moving into the gaming house, like getting closer with the team, and it really helps out, like set up a solid practice schedule and all that. And now that I don't have to worry about school as much, can focus on the LCS and making it to the World Championship.
So is it just sort of a crazy experience to like, boom, you graduate from high school and now you're living with all these guys and doing the LCS, or is this just something that you knew for so many months now was going to happen that it just sort of feels like everything's going according to plan?
I kind of knew it was going to happen, but it didn't really go according to plan. Like, I didn't expect it. Like, I'm not living with my parents, my brother, my sister, like my dog. Like, I miss them. Like, I didn't know it'd be like that sad. I'm just like, oh, I'm not going to miss my parents. But it's like, it's already been a week and I'm still kind of missing them. And I don't know, you kind of don't realize what it's like to live on your own until you go out. And it's cool that I'm like living with my teammates now, but it's also so much different from living with your family and stuff. And it's good and bad, and we'll see what happens, but I kind of like the change.
It sounds like you're kind of going through that like first semester of college for some people where you have to get used to like living away from home and on your own and being responsible for yourself and all that.
Exactly. That's what it's kind of like.
You're not that far from San Diego, and that's where you're from, right? So you can still have them come up every now and then, maybe.
Yeah, they actually came up to like go driving with me and stuff last week. They like came up to the house. They met like the manager of the team and the owner and stuff, and it was pretty cool. I don't know. They live like 2 hours away, so that's cool. But it's like they could like come up and check on me anytime they want.
Well, so the 2 hours is nice, right? Because they won't do it on a day-to-day basis. You kind of get the closeness, so you don't have to worry about them dropping it at any time, right? So at the end of the interview here, you want to say anything? Any shout-outs, any plugs?
We don't. I don't think we really have any sponsors yet. So shout out to all our fans, and thanks a lot to my teammates for playing great today, and a shout out to Travis for the amazing interviews.
I really appreciate it. You have like a website or something, like a URL that's on your shirt? Yeah.
Well, actually, the website is not out yet, but it will be teamcoastgaming.net when it does come out. So be sure to check that out.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for the interview. Congratulations on your win against Velocity. For everyone, this is Travis on the second day of the second week of the summer split. You can check out the rest of our coverage at gamespot.com/LCS.